how do you find out your body fat? And we're going to approach this from the scientific angle. There is what's called an easy way to do it. That's called the BMI, which I think stands for body mass index, probably. Body mass index. So I'm not a fan. All that does is basically take like your weight times your height and put you in like a scale. But when I was probably in my best shape, well, I don't know, when I was very muscular, it said I was obese. So I mean that it factors you on an average of what you should be based on your height. Anyway, so BMI is not something I'm into. It's not something I think is, I don't know, it lingers. People just love it. People are like, oh, my BMI, well, you know, it's not scientific at all. It has nothing to do with like bone density or muscularity or height or neck length or limb length or anything like that. All it is doing is taking your like height times weight and then saying if you're average or not. And like I said, when I was in great shape, 10% body fat, a lot of muscle, it said I was obese. And I just, so don't get too caught up in the BMI. If you want to get the most accurate way of doing it to date is hydrostatic weighing, because different tissues are more buoyant than others. For example, fat is going to float, and your muscles are going to sink. What they do is they weigh you on land, and then they put you in water and weigh you again, and then they use the differences to figure out what percentage of you is fat, because fat will float, and so that which is fatty should float. So that is the most accurate method I know of for measuring fat. So if there's some kind of new tech out there, let me know. I know that they do have, there is calipers. People do the calipers, so they basically pinch skin folds in different places. Also, that is not completely accurate because people do have adipose stores in different places. Basically, you have fat in different places. Some people have it in the belly, under the arm. So if you're the type of person who has fat in one place that you're not particularly putting a caliper on, then you might slip under the radar, and people might think you're skinny when actually you just store fat in a different place. But I would rank that above the BMI. Not a fan of the BMI. So then you've also got the electric things. You know, you hold on to the electric and it passes electric. And the idea behind that is that the electric will pass through fat differently than it would pass through muscle, something along those lines. I've used them before, and I've heard that they can vary based on how well hydrated you are, which would make sense. And it could also, I'm not sure it's going to give you an accurate reading throughout your entire body, since you are doing it from arm to arm, from hand to hand. So I'm not sure how that method works. Maybe someone with a lot of experience with the electric fatifiers could give us their input. But hydrostatic weighing is currently the king of how to figure out what your body fat is. So you got to go in somewhere and have that tested. Otherwise, I would recommend using the little electric thing. I've done them before, and I found them to be more or less accurate, but I can't vouch specifically for their accuracy. So if you guys have other ideas about testing body fat, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Bye-bye.